Right now, if you have a tattoo anywhere on your body, you are walking around with a massive anatomical secret. Nobody ever warned you about this before you sat in the chair. You think your ink is static, but it's on the move. When you look down at the ink on your arm, your leg, or your chest, it looks completely static, like a permanent stamp. It looks like an unchanging mark locked perfectly into a single pocket of tissue. But that's a superficial assumption. You assume that outside of a little bit of fading from the sun, the ink you put into your skin stays exactly where the artist left it. But talk to a pathologist, a trauma surgeon, or a cellular biologist, and they'll tell you a reality that sounds like a sci-fi horror movie. Your tattoo is actively migrating through your inside right now. It is on the move every single day you carry it. A massive percentage of the ink you paid for is no longer in your skin at all. It has been absorbed by a hidden filtration system. Chapter 1. The cellular handoff. To understand why your tattoo doesn't just vanish, we have to look at the capture-release-recapture paradox. When a tattoo needle punctures your skin, it injects millions of pigment particles. Your immune system immediately panics. White blood cells called macrophages rush to the site like a fleet of armored trucks. They literally eat the ink particles. Because these industrial pigments are so resilient, they can't be dissolved by the cell's acid. They stay trapped inside. The standard lie is that these cells hold the ink forever. That's what keeps the industry comfortable. But cells are living organisms. Macrophages aren't immortal. Every few years they die. This is called apoptosis. When they die, they drop the ink. This creates a moment of absolute vulnerability in your tissue. The ink is loose, mobile, and ready to be swept away. Before it can drift, new pioneer macrophages are recruited. They immediately scoop the pigment back up. This is the handoff. This cycle repeats indefinitely, creating the visual illusion of a static tattoo while your internal biology is in constant flux. But the handoff isn't perfect. Small particles escape. The fluid currents of your body catch them like a raft floating down a river. They head directly for your regional lymph nodes, the ultimate biological border control and filtration system. Surgeons frequently find lymph nodes stained pitch black. It's a medical reality that leaves students speechless in the autopsy room. If the tattoo was colorful, the internal nodes look like a broken neon sign. Your body is literally painting its internal network. Chapter 2. The chemical cocktail. To understand the risk, we have to look at what's actually inside these industrial pigments. For decades, the industry used pigments meant for car paint and printer toner. Heavy metals were the standard ingredients. Titanium dioxide for white, copper for blues, and nickel. These metals are relatively inert in the skin but not in the nodes. Chapter 3. The mimicry crisis. This is where the migration becomes a clinical nightmare for doctors and patients alike. Surgeons find black, swollen nodes that look exactly like metastatic melanoma on a scan. It leads to unnecessary radical surgeries. Consider the Sydney case, nodes lighting up on a PET scan. Doctors suspected severe cancer, but it was just old back ink from 15 years ago. This mimicry triggers a trillion-dollar discussion on toxicity. These migrated metals sit inside your body's cancer surveillance organs. They cause permanent swelling, lymphadenopathy, that mimics the exact visual symptoms of lymphoma during a medical screening. Chapter 4. The Sentinel Study. A landmark 2024 Swedish study has fundamentally shifted the discussion on tattoo ink and long-term health. The study analyzed nearly 12,000 people and found that tattooed individuals had a 21% higher adjusted risk of lymphoma. The risk was highest in the first 2 years and spiked again after 11 years. Surprisingly, the size of the tattoo didn't seem to matter. This suggests that even a small amount of ink is enough to trigger long-term immunological changes in your filtration system. We've even found pigment deposits in the liver and spleen. This isn't just a skin issue, it's a systemic biochemical negotiation. Chapter 5. Immunological reshaping. 2025 PNAS research reveals how ink-laden nodes can fundamentally alter your immune environment. The presence of ink-laden macrophages can reduce the antibody response to vaccines, including the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines. The nodes are permanently inflamed for months, altering the body's response to any foreign element in that lymphatic area. I'm here in the lab breaking down this science, while Washington is out on the floor building Alice tattoos. We ensure that every mark we make respects the biology we're discussing. If you don't understand the journey, you don't own the canvas. We built this channel to strip away the lifestyle marketing and look at the raw, uncompromising truth of how ink interacts with life. Check out our technical chapter breakdowns online. If this deep dive blew your mind, hit that subscribe button to join our community. Subscribe if you want to know how the game actually works. Peace, respect the physics, respect the history, respect the craft. I want to hear the truth in the comments. Does this change how you view large-scale black work? I'll see you on the next deep dive.